Hey everybody, Minus here from Pantheon Plus, and I just wanted to share with you my favorite build so far in playing pre-launch Wolcen. Now this build's awesome, but as it says on the screen, just try not to get hit. As you watch this video, we're going to break down the passive skills at the very beginning. I'm going to show you my gear, and then I've sped up the gameplay to about 250% so you can just watch it really quickly go through a expedition level. And then right at the end, it goes back to normal speed so you can watch me fight the boss. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's an incredibly fun build, and I can't wait to expand on it further when the game launches on February 13th. Enjoy, and let me know what you think. Now this build is extraordinarily built on ailments, okay? So I don't even have to show you. I put all of my stats into wisdom. 100% into wisdom. It's all about ailment damage. So check out what we did here. So we start in the scholar tree because really that's the only place you'll start. You have your 3 trees: range, melee, scholar, magic. So we went up the right side here and got damage. 50% ailment chance is important. That's probably one of the most important pieces here. Then we kind of boosted up some different ailment chances. Okay, and we damaged. So really the main focus was just getting up to this tree. Now this tree is the Kabbalist tree. When I first started playing sorcerer, I actually played a lot of the warlock tree, which is just very heavy damage. You get buffs for keeping up your mana and your rage and willpower bonuses. Leech to keep your health up, and it's a little more defensive with your force shield. So there's a lot in this that make you really hit hard and have some durability. So that's sort of what the source tree for warlock is right now. So I decided to just go crazy and go into the other tree. And when I first read this tree, I didn't like it. So the key attributes of this tree are right here, multiplier. So 50% chance to multiply the number of ailment stacks applied by 2. So you're very quickly building stacks. It's like a dot. You're putting stacks of stuff on people. It's really cool. We have killing an enemy grants 5% damage for each ailment stack on that enemy. So you can, if something has ailment on it, if it's frozen, if it's shocked, if it's poisoned, whatever it is, every time you kill something, you keep buffing yourself up if you're doing it fast, which is cool. So you're getting more damage. Now this is interesting here. So we have +2 ailment stacks applied, but if you read this, this is the negative. So if you haven't seen much of Wolcen yet, what's up, Omega? Welcome. If you haven't seen much of this game yet, sometimes to get a strong ability, you actually have to take a negative. So in this tree, you're actually taking a negative 30% damage unless it's over time. So damage over time is not affected. It's really just your first hits or your spell hits. They're going to be negative 30% damage. Now, at the same time, there are things to get some of that damage back. If you look around at some of the dots, I have another negative 10% here, another negative 15% there. So there's a lot of negatives to continuously boost up the ailment damage and damage over time. And basically what we're building, as you can see here, you can apply additional ailments. So when we hit stuff, we are building stacks of damage like crazy. And hear me out on this because I know people are going to be shocked by what I'm about to say. I'm not using lightning. I'm not using it at all. It's on my bar, okay? But I'm not using it. I'm typically using 3 skills. Let's jump into the skills that I'm using and I'll show you guys what's really important. So first, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to sort it by just magic. Okay. Aether jump, hugely important. Okay. And it's important for a couple reasons. We have this here. Now, I want to give a shout out to the community in the Pantheon Plus Discord because they really hit this being important. I looked at this and I honestly just went right past it. This decoy is really good. If you do it right, a lot of your enemies will sit there fighting the decoy. And in this build, you only need a couple seconds to really do some massive damage. And we also took ether damage to enemies between the beginning and end of the teleport. So when we teleport through enemies, we do damage to them, which ether is stacks, potentially, ailment stacks. And we're also increasing, we put stasis on them so they slow down. So it's really nice. If you get in trouble, you can teleport out. Typically, you're going to gain a lot from that. we're going to get more stasis, and we're going to get some willpower. So we actually get a little bit of mana back for jumping through enemies. So Aether Jump is really important. Now it has a cooldown. That's the biggest thing you have to watch. It's not going to be your one and only, unfortunately. But it's very important to get yourself out of a sticky situation, because you guys are going to see one thing. You're extraordinarily squishy in this build. Like super squishy. Here's my bread and butter, guys. It used to be lightning. I still love lightning. Annihilation, when modified correctly, is crazy in this build. You guys are going to see it. I took 2 8-point abilities. Piercing, which is super important because you can't, it's useless if you're just hitting one enemy. You need to be able to take out packs of enemy, right? So we have the piercing effect. We have this here. So this is big too. This is turning it to toxic damage. So our main damager is toxic. And if you see here, it applies an additional stack. So remember, we're all kitted up to put stacks of stuff on people. And now we're getting more from this. And it's pretty awesome. And then we have here, so this is cool. As you're channeling it, you're just dealing more and more and more and more damage. And then the last thing that we use quite a bit. So I have Bulwark of Dawn. I have Thunderstrike on here. I don't use them. I should use Bulwark of Dawn. We do have the ability to move around with it, and it'll just keep a healing aura on us. I should use that ability. I don't. We use Tear. So this is a great, you're going to see that I use Tear when I jump into a fight and I see a pack up in front of me. We're going to hit it with that, and then we're going to jump in and just start melting everything. So that's the goal. So with this, we're actually looking at increased damage, Corrupting Wail, which is applies ailments. See where this is going. Everything that applies ailments. More likely to deal critical hits, and a longer creation delay, but increased damage. I'm going to tell you, that's not, the delay is not much. That's actually a lot more damage for very little change in the amount that it takes to hit. So that's the build we're running. We threw all of our points into willpower. So you guys can see it's kind of underneath there. I apologize, but we have 331 wisdom. It's pretty ridiculous. Our ailment chance score is at 44%. And we got about 194.2% extra damage from our attributes. So we're looking real strong there. The last thing I'll show you guys, and we're going to get to killing, is my equipment that I'm rocking right now. I'm not super kitted out, but I have some important pieces. I am still, unfortunately, wearing a heavy shoulder. It's just really good. I haven't been able to replace it even for this character. We just have basic yellows in here. Nothing fancy, but we have the shoulders here. So tons of stuff here. Just massive stats. There's no negative. Good force shield. Spell cast reduction, which helps for the channeling. Nice. Omega. Heavy shoulders, knees, and toes. And transfer time. This is a huge item. Thirst is important. If you guys see there, we have negative 20% health for 50% more spell damage. Gives us wisdom and casting speed. We have some neat rings here. This is 31 to all attributes. Some force shield, some move speed, some damage. So a nice ring there. And this is an old ring we've had for a while. It's got wisdom and kind of just maximum health. It's okay. And then our weapon is the Zap Stick. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. So, okay, this is a boss fight, guys. We have Stitches, and we have something else. So, Stitches can be a problem. So we're going to try to melt these ads. You guys can see we've already done a ton. So the biggest problem with Stitches is that, which we don't have health right now, and the Ice Wave he does. The Ice Wave is brutal. So as I said, guys, like we are, like, see this Ice Wave? Oh, that hurts. And it's a really wide range. So right now we've melted his ads real easily. You see, that was close. Melted his ads, and we're just trying to dot him up. Look at that. Look how much that dot ate through him. 27, boss, dead.